that in our books is legendary. Join us June 27th and 28th as we head to charming Fair Farm for 2 days of mystery, history, and maybe a little chaos.
Whoa!
What the hell?
Live banter, real stories, unexpected moments. If you love the strange, the fun, and the unexplained, this is the one you do not want to miss. Make sure you're following because Banter with Richie B is bringing the energy straight to charming Fair Farm. See you there.
for all being on here, and remember, we are home of the Oh, what's up, everybody? How are you all doing today? Happy Tuesday. Yes, Batman is in the house. I'm in the Wojo, and welcome to Home of the Boom. I hope everyone's good. Uh, Welcome to the Banter with Richie B Podcast Network. We are Roku, Fire Stick, Dark Realm TV, where fear lives. HLO Media, Facebook, Instagram, that other shithead X, and of course YouTube. So it's great to see you all on here. Very active crowd tonight. Love it. Mickey, never enough lives, baby. Never. We kick ass. That's what we do. Um, so tonight we just want to continue with our friend Susan Ahern, the award-winning producer. Um, still we have a lot of questions, a lot of answers to go through. And as my co-host would say, we turn over every branch, every rock to get all this information. This is what we do. This is called researching, and this is why we do what we do. And again, hey pops, great to see you on here. And I hope everyone is doing great on your investigations because you know what, if you have anything good and you would like to come on sometime and talk about your experiences and what have you, you can reach out to me or reach out to my co-host Richie B on Mojo205 at gmail.com. And I'm embarrassed because I forgot what Richie's is. So, got anything? Come on down. So, I'm going to bring in my co-host, my producer, my coach, my brother. Kicks ass. That's what we do. That's what he does. We bring it. So let's bring on our buddy Richie B, the man, the myth, and the legend.
Boom! Shut up.
Oh my god! Angry.
Yo, what's up? Yo, what the is going on around here? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me as your co-host, sir. Hey, everybody, what's up? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Over the weekend, I mean, we've had we kick-ass investigations with the Lowdown Boys, Stacy Brown, Underground, Papa Squatch. And we haven't been out in the woods yet, but we will get there soon, and I can't wait.
Yes,
Excuse
yes.
me. Rich, because being out in the woods and doing our investigations, there's always a lot going on and stuff like that. So I think today is a great day to bring in Susan Ahern as a guest, and follow up on these discussions because she's also been boots on the ground.
Yep, she is a boots on the ground. Everybody's boots on the ground. I can tell. I can smell it. I can feel it. Anyways, let's say hi to everybody and get that rolling because I want to get Susan in here, sir.
Yeah.
And I don't know where she went though. Do you see the back room at all? Can you see the back room over there? Oh, just me.
No, just you. Susan, where are you?
Yeah, she has black screen. What's up, Lowdown? Jared Lowe from that big investigation that we got the host for Stacy Brown.
Oh yeah.
Stacy Brown Jr. Yeah, I don't see her. It's a black screen. I'm gonna scroll up for you, boss, and just roll through it. Oh, now she gone. She having some issues, man. That's it. That's that Cape Cod internet.
Yeah.
That's that Cape Cod internet. It's like it's not good.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're way down at the other end.
Way back. All right.
The Wi-Fi.
Let's see. Andrew was the first one in that I have, anyways.
What's up, brother?
Lori Ladd. Hello, Lori Ladd.
Hey, Lori. How we doing there, girl? Hope you're feeling good. Feeling better.
Zuli.
Zuli!
And previously. What's up, previously?
What's up, previously? It's always great to see you.
I got some new stuff up in the merch store. You might want to check it out.
Oh yeah. When do you want to post that up, Rich?
What?
The new no, go to the merch store, guys, because
I'm posting shit up.
that's
What
right.
do you think I'm a producer around here? Pony Boy, Tim Vogel's in the house.
Hey, Timmy. Timmy,
Yeah.
the greatest hugger of all time is in the
Greatest hug.
house.
Guy's on Guinness Book of World's Record for longest man hug. Mary Newberg, I love you.
Hey, Mary.
Mickey Richards, what's up, my man?
Hey, Mickey. Cut me, Mick.
Roller Dog.
What's up, Roller Dog? Great to see you, bud.
Well, that's right. Gene Tewksbury, the legend of Maine, is here tonight.
What the hell? Oh, I can't wait to see Gene and
yeah.
Stan. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have some. Copy that. Why? Oh, you trying that different because you weren't getting the reception you needed for your laptop? Shake your head, yes. Yeah, I thought so. Denny-O! What's up, Denny-O?
What's up, Denny?
I sent Denny a picture of what was in the merch store.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see what picture he's going to show you after.
Well, I made them big too, and they were like, "Oh, that's low quality." And I'm like, "That's what I said about the last one. This one's like wrapped."
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
I cannot wait. They're on their way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell anybody.
Shh. Check out the merch store, guys.
Yeah, shut up and check out the merch store. Stop asking questions. What's up, TM Drake?
Hey, TM Drake. What's happening, brother?
Bigfoot fan 33's in the house. What's up, Bigfoot fan?
BF33, what's up? Thank you for being here.
Hells to the yes. I'm Andrew Gnome's Truckin' Express.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Andrew?
Oh, hey, girl.
Guy's probably about like 6'8". Comes out. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I'm the gnome.
I'm the gnome.
I must
the overalls. I'm the gnome.
Pop Spikes, what's up? Pop Spikes.
Spikes. What's going on, pal?
What's up, Papa Spikes? They all look the same. They all look. Ben 15 M4Q5 Space Modulator.
Hey, Ben, what's going on, brother?
I think Sam's here somewhere too. I might have blew right by. I don't know. It looks like I'm not getting some comments. And as we said, the Lowdown down in Florida. Check out the Lowdown podcast with your host, Jared Lowe. Please get over to his YouTube channel, subscribe, and support that man. He was the one that was in the woods, if you missed it, with Stacy Brown down in Florida. And he had like something thrown. On that brain goes rock. Light. Some vocals, some stuff going down. Him and his son will go down there, Blake. So yeah, that's that dude there. So check him out. Him and Papa Squatch. Check out Papa Squatch. You are SM beautiful. Guts FYPF. Oh, he called me beautiful. I'm pretty sure he's talking.
You are so beautiful.
He was talking to me, I bet, right?
Probably.
Hello, Eve Hamilton.
Hey. What's going on, lovely?
You there?
All the way from England.
The UK.
The UK.
Kurt W.
Hey, Secret Squirrel. What's up, brother?
It just keeps going.
Yeah.
And there's Eve. Hey, oh yeah, there she is on another one. I love when she does that. She supports us. She like, and now she's on just Steve Adventures. Love you, girl. Get it, girl.
I know. Thank you for being on here.
Absolutely. Anthony,
what's up, brother?
That's
great to see you.
Mm-hmm. That's the Anthony.
Yep, that is the one and the only.
Tank Therapy. Hello, I saw you guys. We know who you are on Stacy's channel. Had to subscribe. Thank you, man. Welcome to the family. Make yourself at home. Take your shoes off. Put your feet up. Rip a couple of whaties.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I saw the name. I was like, cool. All right, thank you for subscribing, brother.
Yeah, make yourself at home. Everybody should eat dinner while we're having the shows. Always eat dinner. Mine will probably, who knows? Mine randomly shows up down here, so I don't complain. And then the last two, no, not the last two. The last three, I see DeHoot.
Hey, DeHoot.
The Tidbits.
Lozy, what's going on, Carlozy?
And John Temperine.
Hey, Johnny. God bless you too, brother.
And I
All
think
right.
that's everybody. Roll. What you got,
Yeah.
Coach?
Damn.
Get
I
her in
know.
here.
Let's go. Let's bring Susan in. Susan, you got a lot of people waiting for you.
Back to you, Susan.
There you go. You got Susan now.
Everybody, welcome right here. The Cape Cod medium, Miss Susan Ahern, is coming to the stage. Da-da-da!
There she is. The award-winning producer, Susan Ahern.
That's true. That's
It
true.
gets you all the time.
It
It
does.
does. It makes me giggle. Stop.
Tank's eating spaghetti. Yeah, damn right, Tank. It's like somebody gave you notes on how to operate around here. Tank's already got a plate of spaghetti. He's first time in.
I probably got Anthony, all these Italians on here. But
Hey.
Susan, thank you for being on here.
Oh, yeah, Susan. That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that, Bob?
Back to you, Susan. Well, I got a show. Wabba, babba, dig dog. Back to you, Susan.
So I had to get
So,
off of my computer
Yeah.
because it crashed it again. I do not like your streaming platform.
Well,
It crashes my computer.
apparently, it don't like you either, girl.
Clearly, it doesn't.
Wow. Maybe you ought to clear out some stuff out of there, Susan. Just saying. When's the last?
You know,
Yeah, well.
you will.
Me and you
There's
know
that.
things. We might go back and forth all night like this. Hey, can you see us in a match of rock, paper, scissors? Oh. But I'm undefeated in my house, and every once in a while I'll give out a smirk, and she's like, "You let me do that." And I'm like, "Have a good day."
Growing up, I've never done that. Someone would be like this. Hey, Wojo, want to play? No. Oh, you just like whack them. That's it. That's how I play. We don't play rock,
Just
paper,
rock,
scissors.
paper, scissors, guy. You're so violent.
No, yeah, I can't help it. But I changed. I flip coins. Heads, tails.
Yes. I pay Russian roulette to see who wins. Don't judge.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
This is your brainstorm.
That's right. It's my brainstorm. Wow. Everyone's like showing up what they're all eating right now. I'm jealous.
That's right. I love it.
Potatoes.
Cheeseburger pie, cabbage and mashed potatoes, hot dogs with relish. That's roll a dog. But Susan, thank you for being on here, and we want to continue this conversation on when we have the energy in the woods, and well, let's start off with boots on the ground, and you've been in the woods with us several times in the energy, and Richie does have psychic abilities, and he is a beacon, and so the last time we went out, I how you work with Richie on that. And I think it's important for everybody because this is part of the investigation is just feeding off the energy and in the mind speak, sort of. So tell us a little bit about the communications that, um, if you remember that investigation that time, when we saw the lights and stuff like that, talking and things like that, just, open communication.
The one that I was on with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, you were watching that night, weren't you? On the live YouTube in the woods. You were watching us.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that the one you want to talk about?
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was referring to when she was with us during the winter.
Oh.
And, yeah.
Oh.
And, yes.
Oh, you're getting right into it, girl.
Yeah. that drew both of you with that knocking tree is into the woods. I'm like, where are we going? And then you're like, yeah, this way.
And then she made me scan. Yeah.
Scan.
And she says, I don't want none of that eyes closed shit. Okay.
That's right. There was movement out there too. Remember?
Yeah, there was. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun. So the way I investigate is different than the way you guys investigate.
I bet.
Because I walk in with well, I see them as being multi-dimensional beings instead of an actual tactile animal or something like that, like a and/or humanoid of sorts. And I don't see them as that, although they present themselves in human form, not human form. Um,
Bigfoot form.
oh, like we were gonna say flesh and blood, and we were like,
Flesh and
oh,
blood.
it's not flesh and blood. Like, is it flesh and blood? So I like to stay curious, and I like to ask questions to them, like what's going on, what are you, like the next time we go in, I can't wait to say, are you flesh and blood, like what is your thing, because I don't believe they are. And that's just my take on it, and everybody has the right to their own opinion, especially in this platform. So I love the conversations that we can have about that and feel safe about it as well, because it's we have to have that, we haven't had that. So Richie, you really give us something to a really important space to be in, so we can talk about this.
Right.
But so I just take a deep breath and I then open my heart space, because that's how I do my communication. So I just open my heart, I stand there, I breathe, I put my feet in into the earth. I'm just saying, my thanks, my gratitude for being there. And then I had no real expectations of your place because I've never been there before. So I didn't know where any of the locations were or anything. And I just was kind of just there. And I'm just kind of like in my zone, and I'm listening to the woods, and I'm listening to there's multi layers in that woods. So you've got first settlers, you have the Native Americans, you have, and then you have spirit beings that are there.
Oh yes, yes.
And so there's a lot of conversations happening. Those woods are really busy.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have, your ET people. And they're also, multidimensional beings. So we've got those people as well. So you've got a lot going on in the space. And it was just very peaceful. It was very safe. I felt very protected. And I'm just smiling and like got my eyes closed and I'm in my happy place. And Wojo, you picked that up immediately, which I found was really interesting. You're like, what are you getting? Like what is happening? Because
Well,
I
because
could see.
you saw me like just turn my head around, and then you looked up at me, and you're like, I go, what's going? I go, what are they saying to you now? And you're like, how do you know? And I don't know. I just had that like sudden vibe. Like I just stopped and turned, and I looked at you, and I could just tell you were working. And I don't know. I just picked up a vibe, and
Right.
something was telling me like we should go, over here. And you kind of looked at me like, yeah, like, whatever you got going on. Something was drawing us to a certain area of that woods.
Yep.
And that's when we found the print. Like it wanted to tell us, yeah,
Mm.
we found that big print. Richie, on the other side of the college we were at, okay?
Yep.
And Richie was like the outside um, of that part of the woods. Like we were just on the out. We were on the other outside of the picket fence because you kept saying about the picket fence. Remember that?
Yeah, right.
And
Yep.
and and I found that unique that you okay. So there's a message being drawn, and that brought us to that footprint, and and then after a while, again. Because Richie's got like supersonic hearing and all that stuff. And now he's starting to pick up some vibes and stuff like that. So now you're like, okay. And then that's when you guys started walking by yourselves and you're trying to like, okay, this is how I do it. And that's where the teaching started.
Mm.
And, if you want to discuss a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. I believe that like everybody has that ability to
Mm.
listen and to be quiet and to get communication. So
Yep.
everybody has that ability.
Yep.
It's not it's like practicing the violin. Some people play it much better, but they've been practicing longer than others. So
Right.
there's that part. Um and the female approached me, and I thought that that was amazing. She had just very soft, loving energy, very maternal, and she was very different than the male energy that I was feeling, the other male Sasquatch. They were she just was much more communicative, and she was able to share information with me where the males didn't, they couldn't give me the time of day. So um which was interesting. Like, she wanted to share the information, but I was also kind of asking, and I was excited to have that information. So she was showing me how, like, her different sounds and where we were going, and what the younger ones do. And that's where she led us to the fence. I kept saying she wants us to go to the place with the fence, because I didn't really know what's there in your woods like you guys do. And she just wanted us to go to the place with the fence because she keeps the younger ones in that area. And so she was explaining that to me, and off we kind of like went. Um, and I don't really know where I'm going. I just am following the energy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so Rich, I mean, real quick, William Nighthawk, great to see you, bud. Finchy, I saw you pop in, and Benno, all the way from the Australia. What's up, brother? Great to see you all.
Hello.
So, Richie, that time when I lost my keys, like at the top part of the woods or the other side of the college, we found those like small. Um, I remember Susan was mentioning about like, yeah, she's got children nearby or whatever. But we did find a lot of in the mud, like these small prints. Remember that?
Yep, I do. We found a few prints that day.
Yes, we
That's
did.
right. And Susan reminding me that I get blocked psychically because I look for the physical. But I kind of, it's kind of my thing, right? So I guess she was trying to tell me I got to kind of learn to balance kind of both, I mean, everything's a balance in life, and I agree with Susan. Everybody can do things and have different, I guess abilities. I don't know what you call them, I guess, but and it's just some like practice, which is what I'm doing. I'm starting to practice more, so I'm becoming more and more open. But yeah, that day was, I think I had a little click with your keys actually that day when we found your keys. I had a quick vision of them, and I told you what I was saying out loud on the live where they were, what it looked like, where they were, and then I was like 20 feet from them, like, there they are. You know what I mean? Do you remember that? I was all fired up about it. So yeah, I'm learning an on and off switch. I'm right in the middle of it. In the meantime, I just watch it go click clack, click clack, click clack, click clack. I'm like, I can't get to it. It's just out doing its own thing. But yeah, we found a bunch of prints that day. And I don't know. The physical part of it is everything to me, right? And that's the tricky part. But the biggest thing I remember about that day is when you walked away with the camera and Susan said to me, okay, kind of like time to work. You know what I mean? Where are they right now? And I remember scanning the woods with my eyes open, and I just got drawn right back, and I went boom like this, and I stayed there. And she goes, see, and then I was right after that. It was within seconds, I think, right, Susan? I got that goosebump that just shot up my back, out my arms, and up my, it was just woo like this. And she says, that's validation. That's them telling you that validating it. You're right. That's where they are. And I think right after that, Susan, was that when we got like a vocal or a knock or something from the same direction?
Yeah.
Right. It was wild. And I'm just sitting there going, what the just happened? Like what just happened? Because I'm familiar with the one, because I did grow up with it, and I have done like readings on houses and things like that where I've been accurate. But I don't have the confidence or the experience either. But there's times where I'm in a comfortable environment where, yeah, I can do that. You know what I mean? So I'm familiar with that. And then I have this side of my life here with Bigfoot. And now I'm being, I'm being led to bring these together. So I think that's, and Susan brings up some great points, and she's a great mentor. The way she words things, right? Like, I don't want none of that eyes closed shit. That's the way I have to hear it. You can't sugarcoat it with me. You know what I mean? And when I was in AA, all my sponsors were old school salty guys, because I would just manipulate the shit out of Mr. Suburbia, no problem. But you get these salty guys and everything's an excuse. Like, you tell them no one thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got something better to do than actually living, right? Yeah, all right, go die. We'll see you later. You know what I mean? So it's the same type of mentality with this for me. And the things that are being, said and taught to me, the way she puts them sticks in my head. You've heard me talk about Wojo a few times without her even being around. Right. You know what I mean? Because they stick in my head. If they're not put like that, I will just evaporate them,
So like for me, because I had the camera and like from the outside looking in, and you both started going into the woods, and I wasn't the only one. I saw movement, and I just saw a shadow, and Benno, I think you were there. I know Kurt was too. And I'm like, because I remember I was just in this position, like, just I see certain movements, and then like I kept losing it, and then you and Susan went in the woods, and then that's when I heard the knock, and I go, okay, so I know there's something over there, and and I think also, yeah, it was like a low huff or something, and watching you two go to that holly tree, and then you guys saw all the prints and what have you. So Susan, like when you hear it, like, okay, so I saw what I saw. You guys walk in, then you got like this little communication going on because you're like, you and Richie are trying to work together on this, and then the holly tree with all the footsteps and stuff like that. And you was like validation and stuff. I mean, you must have been like, this is wicked cool, like, to see other structures too coming to that holly tree.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that part in the
Yeah.
footprints.
What was the Richie, remember the thing that was hanging in the tree? It was like a little.
Was that the day of the mush? No, was that the day of the mush? Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. I think there was a pine cone in the tree.
Yes. It was a couple of them that day.
In the holly tree.
Yes.
Like way underneath the holly tree. Like there was no way of getting it in there. Yeah, and it was actually wrapped. The way it was hanging was like it was around it. It was that was pretty cool. That was in the pine cone.
Yeah. I would love to address the trickster question from William, because I wanted to do that last time. I said, let's talk about this time. There's tricksters in all walks of life. We're gonna come across them all the time. They're just not, inhuman and or other. I mean, that's unfortunately is part of this planet of walking with those things that we have to like learn to trust your inner energy and your own inner being. Do you trust yourself first of all? Then can you trust to read other energies or other people? And they're really good at especially like when in the paranormal, your more malevolent energies like to appear as children, especially to, because like as a mom and a grandmother, they're like, oh, let's throw this little kid in the mix and she'll just go right over and pick it up. So you have to be really careful. You have to like stop, ask, and question and like figure out where that's going and what's happening with, why do they want to bring you into, and why are they dragging you out? You really have to know yourself first and know your inner energy, know your guides that you're working with, to be able to trust the responses that you get. And I've been working with my guides all my life. I mean, I was born seeing spirit people was who I first started seeing. So I just assumed everybody had that. I assumed everybody had transparent people. I just didn't know until everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're your transparent people," and they're like, "Okay." So,
Yeah.
um,
What do you mean you don't have any?
you know, and everybody's got a something. We just have to figure out what that something is.
Mm.
And I would love to have a conversation someday and just like ask William what his thought, what's his way of detecting the tricksters, because that's helpful for people to know.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
you know, I think that's a great topic. I'd love to learn his topic on that, or what he does around that. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but anyways, I would go in with be careful, you know, watch what you're doing and go slowly. Be less ego is always better. You can't energy like trying to listen to, there's just no room for ego. That's just, I guess, the best way to put it. There's just no room for ego. If you're doing
Right.
it for the big, you know, views, or you need the attention, then you're opening up that opportunity to be tricked, or to be lured into something that isn't good.
Right. And I think you made a good. I know what point you were getting at too, Susan. Hey, MS, all the way from Canada. ZHSSRS. Great to see you, brother. And of course, there's Sam, a beautiful executive producer. Thank you for posting that up. Buy the merch, everybody. It is like is controlling your energy, and have, first of all, we know to have good intentions and everything, but control your energy and keep that open mind. And that's what Richie will always remind everybody. Always come in with an open, clear mind. And I think that's important because, um, Richie, you can chime in on this one. Obviously, it's just that I don't think we've been really tricked on a lot of things either. I mean, um, like for example, when you and Susan were that part of the woods, and we walked out we walked back to the knocking tree and stuff like that. Again, reading, both of you have, reading your energies at that moment. And then we saw the lights down the path at
Mhm.
that spot. That we never see at that spot. Remember when we walked from the knocking tree to the path, we took that left. We're on the other side of the huts, and then we saw the brightness of that light.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, Trying to think. Which light? All right, I got all the lights in my head all at once. Right when you said that, it's
yeah.
like a highway. I was trying to think. Which time was that?
Now it's time to get dark,
Yeah.
and we now we went from the holly tree. We
Yep.
went back, and we circled back to the knocking tree, my
Right.
favorite knocking tree.
I thought we
Then
saw
we
one to the
decided
left.
to walk down the path until we looked down the path, and all of a sudden I said, I see lights down there.
Hmm.
And then that's what, drew you guys down there.
Yeah, I thought we saw one off to the. Was it left? The one diagonal on the left that time. I thought we went down. We had the knocking tree, and we saw it was because it was further in than we usually saw them. But it
Yes.
was
So,
the one that was
yes,
diagonal to the left.
to the left. Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that was different. You know what I mean? Um, I didn't know what to make of that. You know what I mean? At that time, it's like when the folly happened, we didn't know what to make of it at that time. Like I had no idea what to make of it. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. All I know is everything just kind of ramped up, right? As we
Yes.
kind of plugged in. Right? Wouldn't you agree? Right? Because you're going in and it's not, there's this, she has her connections and we have the physical, right?
Mhm.
And then we get in there and then everything kind of just came together. Like after we kind of plugged in, you know what I'm saying? So
Because you two are in the zone, and what I'm saying is like, all right, you have like this because the energy was there, okay? Because again, I know what I saw. I saw a shadow.
mm-hmm,
You guys went towards the shadow,
mm-hmm,
and then you guys found the little footprints, which is cool. Um, and plus the little knocking the local, and then we're walking out, and then all of a sudden, like, you just feel like, you know, something was there, which is, again, seeing the shadow, all that, and all of a sudden, to that diagonally to our left, as we're walking out of that area, there's the lights. So something was there. It's validation, that all this energy, there is one, like, that was like down that path. And
Right.
so, and that was bright, because as we're walking out, how bright it is. And I think, Susan, that was your first time to actually start seeing lights
Mm-hmm.
for the
It
first
was.
time.
Yeah, it was. And I think that light was in the direction of the knock as well. Like in the direction where I
Yeah.
kind of scanned and stopped. They were slightly off to the left a little bit more, but it was still in that area. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it all kind of came together,
Before you answer that, I just want to read Williams. The time that humans believe that they have abilities they can't be manipulated is reckless and dangerous without spiritual protection. But most don't listen to the medicine people,
Mm.
which is, yeah, I mean, you have to have some sort of protection and prayer, and, uh, like we use sage and things like that. And we do bring our medicine bags out there. But Susan, yeah, so as we're walking out, now you're starting to, the energy's there. Now you're starting to see, like, the sources that are out there, the lights. What was your first thought of actually seeing
Mm.
those lights?
My mind, my training, I want to debunk things. That's my police background, my law enforcement background is,
Mm-hmm.
I need that information. I know, like, how did it happen? Where is it coming from? Blah, 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 blah. That was my um that was kind of like my first. And I'm like, okay, where are the houses? What could it be? Is it a glow stick? Nope. We walked around. We looked for like I was like making things up. Like, what else could it be? A little lost
Mm.
kid with a lantern. Like,
Oh yeah, you go through it.
you do. Your mind wants to, like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you go through it, man. It's tough.
it's none of those. And
Mm-mm.
so then you just kind of sit and embrace it and go, okay, like, there it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there it is. Now, even if, I don't know, there was someone running around with lights, what I mean? Like, it was pretty impressive either way. I was enjoying the light show. It was so amazing. And just to kind of feel that energy, it's the energy that proves itself. Like, I don't, no one has to prove it. You just kind of, you're like, no, wait, just wait, just
Mm.
wait, just be. And then I'm like, okay, get out of my head, get out of the ego part that needs an answer, and just enjoy it. And and it was so cool. And then
Mm-hmm.
then there was the orange, and then, yeah, so I'd never experienced anything like it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, because the different colors, you had the orange, and then you had the blue, and then you had the white, and
Mm-hmm.
the one we believe it could be possibly the female that's been communicating, had the it's just, that light is just so bright, and it kind of like stands out more compared to the other lights. Again, that energy. It's like, okay, I'm the one that's communicating with you. I'm the one stepping forward from the rest of the lights, but they were there, and
Mm.
I'm watching you. You just sat there. I'm like, you okay? You're like, this is great.
Mm.
It
Wild.
was. It's really, the energy is just so loving. It's just so calm. It's just so loving that it's impossible at that point in time to be in anything else, because I've seen and experienced extreme negative,
Mm.
and I've had those negative attacks,
Mm.
spiritual attacks on me. So I know what that is like. And I've also had, like, the 5 near death experiences. So I also know what being on the other side of the veil is like. Um and it was such a beautiful positive energy. It was just really loving. So I
Mm.
really was so thankful that I was able to experience that, because, yeah, I think that, the communication that they had with you was is awesome. Like it's really is awesome. And so, and for you guys to share that is really cool. And for them to allow a new person into the woods is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's also like key because we have invited people in the past, and like especially like recently, the results that we're getting, it's just these different these different levels, excuse me, of trust, and we're just embracing that. Um, and from that investigation, okay, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Um, that I would say that Richie, but I always say to myself, like, really has grown through all this in a spiritual, through his spiritual journey, meaning, seeing the lights and walking towards the lights, Rich, and speaking to them like you're more calm, you're just, because we all get excited, and I understand, like, hey, he's got ADD, there's a lot happening, but he's trying to, but you're trying to ground yourself too at the same time, Rich. And I'll tell you, like, speaking to them and getting, like, waiting for responses. I mean, that's key, man. And that's what we're getting, those like much more positive results, like, the vocals and mouth pops and the tree knocks. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I could feel myself having a little more control over the slowing down of my body, right? And it happens almost instantaneous now. It's like right away. You know what I mean? So I don't feel as like goofy, talking to them like like I know things and they know things. That took a little getting used to, you know what I mean? A lot of that stuff is like not just confidence, but you feel weird, right? Let's just face it, right? You feel a little awkward, right? It's a little awkward. But then I start seeing results, and then I, like Susan was talking about, you start looking for that rational, right? You start looking for that common sense theories, stuff like that. And I'm like, did they really do that because I asked? Did they really, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard even now, knowing that I'm dealing with that. I still try to grab it and I'm going, what the hell? Like, I don't understand this. And then it's happened a few more times. And then at my place, whenever I didn't know when you were going to get to that, but this ties in with that. When I had that, I was wide open, dude. It's like a 4-lane highway, and Susan understands that you can kind of grab it and bring it down to 1 lane. You know what I mean? Or it just grabs you and it's 4 lanes, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I mean? Right? Like this frog, the game of frog is going on, and there's like, cars flying by, and you're like, where's the frog going? What the hell's that? Was that a Volkswagen? You know what I mean? Like, you just like, that's what it's like. And I'm validating, like, they're buzzing the shit out of me right now. And I'm like, so you're trying to grab all these things at once and like bundle them up and, okay, I'm ready. You know what I mean? And that's what happened that night. I knew I was wide open, but I didn't expect to get tapped that hard, to where my mind was everywhere. So that was a turning point for me. That's why I bring it up. That was a turning point for me when I said what I said openly, and I meant it, and I had never said those words before. And it was almost surreal to where you're looking back and you're like, why did I even say that? Why did I say it like that? Why was my verbiage like that? We seek safe passage, and blah, blah, blah. And, kind of call
it Richie B. I'm like, I'm right here.
I love that one.
And they're like, no, yeah, we know you're here.
I know. And people say that, but it makes me comfortable.
Right.
It puts me in a familiar, like I'm saying it out loud, right? Like when you tell me to turn the light on just to kind of regroup. When I say that out loud, that's me getting my nervous energy out. And I'm like, okay, this is real. I'm real. I'm not dreaming. Okay. And it helps me refocus. So sometimes it sounds odd that I say that, but I'm saying that to kind of gather myself in, So yeah, that was a turning point for me. When the lights over at my place. And Susan was in and out for that live episode. But then we talked to her about it on your show more so. And I was really curious to know about the hallway. You know what I mean? That was gray. That just still blows my mind. It was completely gray, dude. It was wild.
Real quick before you answer that, Susan, ZHSSRS says, Richie Wojo, when you go out in the woods and you see lights like this and you go home, does it change you and you want to go back in the woods? Just ask with all due respect.
I don't want to leave the woods.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave the woods. I never want to leave. It's a 2-hour investigation, turns into 5 or 6. Yeah, you just don't want to leave. You like Susan says, that soft, comfortable feeling, right? And
Sleep in here.
oh my God. And everybody has said that. Max has said that. Jessica has said that. Paul Venza said that.
All that, yes.
All calm. And it's not just something to that. That's data. You know, if you want to talk physical and you want to talk, like police work and all that, you need data, right? You need evidence. That's evidence. That's testimony. You know, and humans having the same testimony as data and turns into evidence, which, you know, in some cases turns into science, because that's what science is. Science is data, you know, and we're collecting it.
I'm wondering if there is a space as you're walking in that people feel that. And you wouldn't be able to ask them. So let me, tell me when you're going to feel good, because then you're leading them to that answer. But if they could tell you at what point when they say, oh, this really feels good, where were they in the woods when they felt that? I would be curious to see when that started, if they are even aware of it. But
all right, so well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's at the lights.
But yeah, it is at the lights. It's interesting.
Yeah, but we've seen the lights in different spots, and it is interesting because even with Max, he's my son. I know him like the back of my hand. You know, he's my buddy too, and I could see it in his face. So at first I see it, I'll say something encouraging. You can hear me on the live, like, you know, we're good, bro. We're good. And he doesn't say nothing. He's calculating. Then the lights are like 70 feet seemingly from us. I say seemingly because I don't physically know. It seems like they can project them towards you. That's the vibe I get. And we've discussed it, Wojo and I. And so I remember looking over at him because they were so close and said, how you doing? You okay? And he's like, I go, what are you feeling right now? And he's like, I just feel so calm, like not worried at all. Like, so it's so like peaceful, Dad. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. I didn't expect that answer from him. I really didn't. He's 15. I didn't expect it. And then to watch Jessica, knowing her, you know, her voice comes. I didn't have to ask her. Her voice comes down, blah, 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 you know? And then Venza was narrating, basically. So I went up behind him with the live camera, and he was like, I'm staring at what I'm seeing. I cannot believe what I'm staring at. I can't believe this is happening. And one of the things he said was, I can't believe I'm not even worried. I have no fear whatsoever. It's exhilarating. And, you know, he goes, you get a little anxiety from it, but I don't want to run. You know, like he's saying all these things. So I knew, you know, but it seems to be in the presence of the lights. But the first sight of them is, what is that? Right? Because I told him, I said, we were talking beforehand, and I said, dude, you're not going to believe this. This is what we deal with all the time. I'm telling you, bro. You go out there with the right mindset, because I'm not trying to coach him into believing something. I'm trying to coach him, period. And one of the things you want to do is make sure everybody's intent is right. So you don't want to go out there, all your intentions are right. One guy's like, I got a secret hidden knife over here. I'm going to stab something today. You know what I mean? So, you know, you don't want that, right? Not that he would, but, you know, you just want to make sure their intentions are clear. So I told him a little bit about it. And then I told him about the lights and stuff, but that was at the Farley. I'd never imagined at the Folly. And then the next time was at the Folly in the daytime. It was still daylight.
Yeah.
And what's the reason for that, you think, Susan? They just getting comfortable?
It could be your comfort level.
Oh.
Because they're not going to show you more than they know or understand that you can handle, right?
Right,
So
right.
you're not going to get more than you can handle. They don't want to push that
Like a shock and awe.
that communication back. Like they've got a good thing going on. They don't want to distance you or have you not come back. So yeah, let's turn up the light a little bit and see what happens. And you are fine, and you know that you're going to be fine. And if you're not fine, well,
If you're not
there
fine,
it is. I don't know. It just went, whoop, there
how
it
you
is.
doing? No, it's true
Yeah.
though. It's wild, dude. The whole thing's
Yeah.
wild. This whole story's wild.
Yeah.
Yep.
D-Hood, I asked myself that very thing when you all go boots in the ground. Did they see what I saw? And did I just see it say that? And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, when you see something like that, or like for me, when they're crashing through the woods, I come no harm, you start talking funny but you're trying to be in control with your excitement. You say strange stuff but you're also your heart starts to soothe after a while because when you see these lights, you're like, this is wicked cool. Now, our friend Anthony that was out there, he was more taking it all in, and I'm watching his face because he was with me and Maddox, and Maddox also added that he goes, wow, it just slows my ADD down. And you hear that, I'm like, that's cool, like, and he said it again, like, I'm just so calm. And
Yeah.
so, like with Anthony, and I'll speak for him, is that I could see it in his eyes, like, I'm seeing something beautiful, and it's like, but you're just trying to process and control yourself and just slow yourself down, and then that's when you start to see more lights. You hear like movement into the woods. Remember the tall one that we saw, uh,
Up in the
Rich
tree?
Rich down way at the other end of the path,
Toward
the intersection of the Folly. But we
Mhm.
kept going further down towards the power lines, and then there was one that was like up in the trees.
Up in the tree. Yeah, it's way up there. Yeah.
But again, we followed the sounds. Like, hey, we can hear movement over here, and then come to find out, there's another set of lights. So again, that physical movement. But I mean, again, is it the flesh and blood or is it the interdimensional?
And
You
that's
see
what
where
we
I'm
need to
going?
do. We need to ask those questions. If you
Yeah.
can if you're in that calm state, can you ask those questions? And you always forget. So bring a list of things that you want to know and see if you get answers. I mean, it's just a question. There's no stupid question in the woods, right? So why not just ask? Who am I talking to? What am I talking to?
Right. Right.
Are you here for my
Yeah.
highest good? I do a lot of are you here for my highest good? Now, if there's a trickster and it's going to say, yeah, of course I am. They can't hold that energy from what I've seen, and this would be my experience, is that they can't hold the trickster energy for a long period of time versus honest, authentic energy. That is natural. It's real. It's beautiful. That is. They can't pull that off from what I've seen.
Right.
And I'm glad and if it's not true, and I'm glad that I haven't seen anything be able to do that. I don't want to experience that.
Right.
I got enough problems with live humans, let alone multi-dimensional beings lying to me too. So
Yeah.
there's that.
A quick hello to Mr. Product American, and of course the lovely Rockin' Rhonda Lee. Great to see you on here.
Yep.
We're here with Miss Susan Ahern, the award-winning producer, and Happy Medium. And we're talking about controlled energies, guys. Going out in these woods, like, where your intentions are, things like that. We're talking about like our energies, and in our parts of the woods, and is it good, bad, things like that. And I would say, and I would, speak for myself, that both Richie's place and the woods that we're at right now it's just very calm and soothing. But it is high energy too. The place that we're at right now compared to Richie's place. And I don't know, Rich. What do you think? I mean, do you feel the difference between both areas of energy
Yeah.
in the results that we're getting? Because for me, I can tell the difference between the both, and I never really heard it from you. Never. I don't think I've really asked you. What do you think of um, the difference or the similarities of these woods that we go to?
The best way I can explain it is the zone where the chair is like frayed wires. It's kind of up to you to place them. You know what I mean? And they leave it at that because there's so many different energies over there. I have on my property is a lot more balanced, right? A lot more I always go to a circle for some reason. That's why I use the bike tire and all that. It's always more symmetrical. It's always more even. Although there is energies over there other than Bigfoot. You got your Native Americans, a couple of Puritans, I believe. Definitely, farming and all that. But it's balanced when you go into my woods. They're balanced. You can kind of, for me, I can navigate it very well. That's why that night it was very odd that I had that 4-lane highway and everything felt frayed, like when I'm over there sometimes at the chair. The chair's like this. Yeah. Right? I mean, no, it is. It's like, you got to sort through who's trying to get your attention. How's that? You know what I mean? And
It's a 2-year-old on candy.
oh my God. Me, them, everyone. You know what I mean? It's just like, 100 2-year-olds on candy. The freaking daycare, and I'm the teacher. That's a problem. You know what I mean? You don't want none of that. That's just a mess. That's why I go in there. My energy's like, wow. And everybody's like, this guy's loud. Yeah, right. I got a lot of energy. You know what I mean? But yeah, to me, that's the difference is it's more balanced at my place. And it was the day when I bought it. I remember standing out there with tears in my eyes and a lump in my throat, partly because I was a 14-year-old homeless kid and I couldn't believe I owned something, but the land itself just felt so sacred, man. There's a lot more going on there than the farmer that owned it, prior to me owning it, stuff like that. There's a lot more. There's historic stuff that went on there. And I've always seen that, and I've always known that, and I've always felt that. So
And he's done.
He's like looking at it's like looking at me like, what you talking about, Willis? Look at him. What you talking about,
That's so
Willis?
funny. Well, we got a couple of good questions while he's quiet. Something about the cemetery. Where'd it go?
yeah. How about now? Yeah, everybody back now?
Yeah, you're
Nope,
back
we still
now,
can't
Rich.
hear you. Can't hear you.
I know. I just keep talking, anyways. I knew what was going on, but then I stopped. I'm like,
Oh,
right.
I found it, Susan.
Oh, the
Dean's
gravesite. D-Hoot.
Who, yes. She's wondering, hey Susan, at some point, let's get you to then talk about the grave sites out there. What she's talking about is
Followed up by
what's that?
maybe there's a Bigfoot message waiting at the grave sites.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I see it now. Yes.
Yeah, she working. She trying to get us back out there because she wants.
I don't think I've ever seen the grave sites.
No, you never have.
Okay.
She's just looking to get we went there one time.
Okay.
And apparently it was the biggest mistake of my podcast career. And yeah, for once, right? Yeah, you got to shut off my internet for me to go quiet, but I was still talking. Anyway, so yeah. No, I know what she's saying. We found this grave, like family grave plot, site.
Okay.
A while back. And yeah, that's Restream. Restream sucks. And we haven't been back. because obviously we get caught up. Now we got 2 spots, 2 gifting areas. You know, this is like a 3rd place, you know, locally. And she just wants us to go back there. So now she's asking you if you could tune in on that graveyard. Like I said, I think there's, I don't know, for some reason I get 6, a 6 plot grave area.
Yeah.
But you can't see all 6, I don't think. I think there's only a couple that you can see.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a family plot.
So we'll have to go then. Let's check. We'll put that on the list of things to do. Thank you, D Hoot. That's a great idea. Thank you. I didn't know that existed.
Thanks, D Hoot.
Yeah, great.
I mean,
can we zip back to who had something else? Let's see. BMO, the worst kind of trickster, tells you the truth, but only part of it. The part that entices you, your trust. And I agree with that. That is a great sentence. That's a great statement.
Always is. BMO coming in hot.
Yeah.
And he also says there are a lot of forces, the energy that is there in the place, what's brought through history and left. The others bring, and the energy you bring. Correct. So that's the other thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Andy, come on up. We'll go there. I'm not staying all day, but we'll go there. All right. We'll make a double trip one day. We'll do a double. We haven't done a double in a while. We'll go to Murdoch and then right down the street to the zone.
Yeah,
not
far
at all. Cool. Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be a good mix. And we'll call it the D Hoot episode or something. Or shut the up D Hoot episode. You know what I mean?
ZH had another question. Sorry. Do you guys, because I don't know this answer, does activity ramp up in the summer or in the winter? What do you think?
It's all the same to me. I've never heard it.
I believe. Yeah.
My whole time dealing with this before any of this was around, it was year round. I got footprints in the snow. I got footprints in the mud. I mean, I should tell you everything you need to know there. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't notice any difference. I don't notice any migrational silence, so to speak. That's why I've always said that they're nomadic. And again, based geographically off my area. To be migrational, first of all, you need more land anyways. You know, and southeastern Massachusetts really just doesn't have it. So you're going to migrate to the ocean to the east, and migrate to the ocean to the south, and then end up in Rhode Island to the west. Whew. It's the last thing you want to do is end up in Rhode Island. But anyways, that's just my opinion. I've had a majorly stressful day. Feel like I've been in panic mode all day, and I'm back at perfectly calm. Good. Just hearing Richie's stories about the land, the lights, and all of it. Absolutely, girl. I love to hear that. Love that. We're all family here. And, speak your mind. You come in failing any kind of way, guys, talk about it, man. Just like you came home from work and you want to tell the family. You know what I mean? Just tell us. That's what we're here for, man. Our doors are wide open all the time. Like we just met like Papa Squatch, and he was asking me questions about it. Technology, whatever, how to get into this. I said, dude, just come in my studio. I'll show you. Send him a link. He comes in, show, oh, thanks a lot. I go, well, that's what we do. It's just second nature to us. It's just who we are, period. So thank you for sharing that, Rhonda. It's all over now. We're done. Tomorrow will not be a Monday. I cannot wait to put my headphones on and power wash because I was at home all day with my 3-year-old.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to go out soon, and I'd like to get Susan out to back to your area, and
that'd be cool, huh?
Yeah, just get to feel the balance of those woods, because now she knows the area that we always go to, and she's been a couple of times now. Going here would I can't wait to to ask those questions for you, Susan, because again what do you you'd know the differences in the similarities of the both.
Sorry,
but all that rain. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I have a question. What if, and I want to leave people with thinking about this, is that what if that space and that the calmness and all of the good feels that we're feeling when we're there, what is the possibility that it is a healing space. If when we're going in there, that there's the possibility to be healed or to have healing happening while we're in there.
The whole space?
Wherever we're feeling the good stuff.
Mm.
Like, I don't think yeah, it just feels good. The whole time I'm in there, I'm like, I don't want to leave. So what if there's a healing vortex? What if your Bigfoot are healing Bigfoots? What if there's something else that's maybe it's in the land
Don't-
or it's just I want to open up those, Pandora questions that go, oh wow. Because I haven't experienced other Bigfoots, so I can't say, oh, well, that guy was a jerk. I don't, like I didn't get any of that from my Bigfoots over here in Idaho, like what's
Right.
the like I'm just wondering. I'm wondering if that's why I want to do a field trip.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about healing. I mean, it seems like it would have that potential. It's just I think you'd have to tap into it in a certain way to get it out of there. You know what I mean? But you have such a euphoric feeling that which obviously endorphins, you don't feel pain when you have them, right?
Correct.
Generally, depending on what your pain is, I guess. But not, when you have those endorphins going, you don't have the aches and all that stuff. But yeah, you could like when we walked in that wall of kindness, I'll call it, Wojo. Everything just the angst and everything went away, which is a form of healing in itself. You know what I mean? So, and it,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else have healing, warm, fuzzy Bigfoots? I'd like to know that too.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's wild because, again, I think it's intention. I think it's approach. They probably more than likely could do it on their own, but I'm sure if the land is charged with that type of atmosphere or the indigenous people, were doing that for a long time, that the land could help make it easier for them to do that. But also, if they are the keeper of the forest and they do work directly for God in a sense, right? Then perhaps they're there to heal the land that has been so wounded. And that gives them the capabilities, of healing others. You know what I mean? So you are dealing with an area that had King Philip's War pretty mightily going pretty hot and heavy, which I feel a lot of that was right in our backyards, like right where I'm sitting right now. You had all kinds of different tribes in this area. There wasn't just one. There was like 5 or 6 right here in this town that I'm sitting in, not just in the area. What we deem a border. Within that border, there was at least 5 different tribes. Very, very, very weird, and not weird, but the percentages were low for that, right? And the Cape had it too because it was a peninsula, so to speak, right? So where were you going to go? You know what I mean? You had different ones living up at the way up in Provincetown, say, and all the way down through, and that people don't realize how intertwined with the indigenous people Cape Cod is. They just think of ocean and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? That like they don't associate it because there's ocean there, right? But the Cape's loaded with Native American history, loaded with it.
Very much so.
Oh my God, yeah. It doesn't.
Susan, I would say this to your question. For me, I agree because of the healing is because I've had plenty of bad days, and you try to control yourself as you just have to kind of clear your mind before you go into the woods. And once you're in the woods and you have some sort of acknowledgement, your friends, your forest friends, and they're acknowledging you, that to me brings healing of love and joy and a lot of other things. That makes me like calm. So it is like, doing that healing through you. And um, it just brings you ultimate calmness. It brings you um what's the word I'm looking for? Gratitude. of life. And and this is why when we talk about energy in the woods and things like that, that's why I believe that's what they do. And that's, um, I don't know how it is for anybody else out there. And I think you make a good point. Like, are there any other Bigfoots that you don't feel comfortable with, things like that?
Yeah,
Hey,
interesting
Mark,
question.
how's
I
it
would like
going?
to know those. So yeah.
Yeah. My friend Mark's Glove Repair. Yes, I still have your hat, brother. Love it.
Yep.
Um, and I know there's a lot of questions here.
Yeah, there is. Like Andrew, good point. Like Andrew DeSantis also says that he feels that calmness, which I love. Love that.
Oh yeah, Andy can't feel anything but calmness, though. That's the only problem, right, Andy?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Dee was
Yeah.
saying that she feels like at this time of year.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the deconstruction of everything and start anew, and that's something that as researchers now this is where you have to switch over to the physical, right? This is and physically go see, right? Because we know where the structures are. We used to mark them with pins on our phones, but now we just walk up and go, "Hey, that leaf wasn't there before," because we've been in there so many times. You know what I mean? Like you just know, is that a stick out of place? It's like your living room.
Mhm.
But that's a good point, D Hoot. I will give you that one. I think it would be good as researchers to go see, are there different like structures and things like that being taken down, being made, because we know they've been taken down. We know that. I have documented proof that they take them down. Maybe not them building them physically and watching them physically taking it down, but we know that when we come back, when they're built with hands, and when they're taken down, they're taken down with hands. We know that. It's not the wind. It's not the magic whirly wind. It's not, teenagers with come alongs and engineering degrees. That's not happening. The dream catcher is the prime example of all that. You can have some structures that fall, right? The dream catcher was a 40-foot arch that was Alamo oak or whatever, and it was very big all the way around, and it was sunken, pushed to the ground in an arch, and all those other sticks in between. And then you come back, it's 12 feet off the groundish, and you come back, and where is it broken? Right in the center of that arch.
Mhm.
It didn't break over here and spring back up and crumble or something. It was still fresh. It was still new, even when it was broken. So something had to reach up to the middle and have the strength in the middle to snap that pretty fresh, not pretty, but pretty like beautiful, fresh oak or elm tree that was approximately 16 inches in circumference.
Mhm.
It's not
Um,
going to happen otherwise.
Susan, here's a good
Back to
question for
you.
you. This
Yeah.
is back to Susan. Denny O's asking you, Susan, you think the angels are involved? Earth, the colors.
Especially the colors. Especially the
Oh,
colors.
with the
Right.
colors.
He corrected himself.
Right.
Um, I think it's personally my thought is that we're looking at multidimensional beings that are using light and showing their internal source.
Mm.
They're showing their source to us. They want us to understand it and experience that. Um, are they angels?
Are they
If
involved?
so, I would have had a better connection or a conversation with them because I work with the angels a lot.
Mm.
So I don't know what happened. What are we doing here? Oh yeah, thank you.
You just keep
I
talking.
work with the angelic realm a lot in my
Mm-hmm.
work. So we talk. So I wouldn't have had a problem with they were like, "Hey Susan, look what I can do." You know what I mean? Like so I
Mama said
didn't get that. So
no.
I so I think it's another I think it's multidimensional beings. Um Off-worlders are it could be Bigfoot. I'm not sure. It's something new that I have not talked to before.
Mm. Mm.
Uh, like Susan, would you, um, I don't know, like when you're out in the woods, the energy feeling. I
Whoa.
mean, ooh. Hey, Susan.
Uh,
She's like,
You're a little
hey,
too close, Wojo. A little too close.
sorry,
Hey,
Just a
sorry.
girl.
Hey, girl. Is this my good side?
little.
So, shut up, Rich.
Sorry, my bad.
Like the different energies in the wood in the woods and stuff like that, but you pick up quickly on the of the ETs. I mean, can you tell the difference between the ETs and the Bigfoots out in the woods that quick, easy, or is it just
Yeah, so what ends up happening for me is that they vibrate at a certain frequency.
Mm.
And then if they're communicating to me, then I then dial my own little thing to get there. It's almost like a AM FM tuner. It's like I dial that so I can hear it.
Mm.
And then I can listen, or I'll ask them, I know you're trying to talk to me. I don't understand what you're saying. Can you please figure out how we can communicate? If I can't do it, I'll ask them to do it.
Mm.
And usually that's how I know I'm talking to an off-worlder.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So because I don't know all of them. There's like so many, much
Yeah.
more than
Oh
4
my
that
God.
the government are claiming that
Oh
they
my
know of.
God, man. It's yeah.
Um, so I then have to ask them, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to work a little bit and kind of figure out how to make this happen. I'm
Mm.
open to it. Just we have to work together.
Right. Right. Yeah. The ET part was hard to get grasp for me.
Yeah. And
It,
remember that their energy, we can't be in their energy for a long period of time.
not good.
No, where our bodies aren't used to their energy, and or they may not be used to our energy. I think it's more we're not used to their energy. So I get like maybe 10 minutes and then we have to leave. They have to leave. Because sometimes I get too floaty or I get tired. Like
mm,
if you're all of a sudden in the woods and you're like, da 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 da, and you're like, I must sleep now. And that would probably say that you've got an an interesting being there. It could also be a trickster. It could be all, like I don't know unless I was there to kind of say, oh yeah, run or or just be with it. But that tells you that you're coming into a frequency of energy that is pretty strong.
Yeah.
And that happens to you, Richie.
Mm.
And so then you just started using your words and saying, this is too much.
Mm.
Like bringing that in. It's like way wide. So let's close it up a little bit so that everybody's comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable,
Mm.
then why are you doing it? Why are we doing it? Or you
Yeah. I'm
don't
not,
want to talk, you don't feel like talking to somebody, then
yeah.
the communication that day is not going to be good.
Yeah, you're not going to get far. You know what I mean? And
No,
that's
right.
and I'm learning that part of it because again, you go to that funny awkwardness that I have to get over. Like okay, back off a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's talking to himself again. Jeez, dude, he thinks he's this." You know what I mean? And that's the mentality I have, and it's confidence. And once I'm confident, you don't care, and you're just like, "Yeah, that's the way it is." You know what I mean? So it's the same with anything in life. You know what I mean? It's even with softball. I have a good game. I walk around with swag, and I don't give a shit. I'll talk smack the whole time. And other times when I'm playing like shit, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here and pretend I'm not even here. Be a little wallflower. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
same type of thing. Same type of thing. Two things I want to address. JT, my question to you is when JT says they could also be deceiving you, and we touched on this a little bit with William. How long does this deception go on for? Because I've been doing this a long time. So that would be my question to you. Ronald, any possibility these lights are street or industrial lights coming from a great distance? There is some observations of lights from a great distance seeming to be much closer than they actually are. We have 100% physically ruled that out. That there are no lights where we go, especially as far out as the Folly. It's 1.1. I mean, I already knew that when it first started, I was very cautious. Ask Wojo. Very cautious. He would call it one thing. I'd say, don't you call it that. We don't know yet. You know what I mean? And we go back and forth, right, Woj? That's the way it was because we didn't know. and I was trying to ease into it. And there are houses on that street. 100% had to rule that out. 100%. But when you start seeing them 11 feet up in a tree, 20 feet from you, that's not the house that's over here. You know what I mean? So that started slowly convincing me. Then this is even after like having the believability. It was etched when we were coming back across the water bridge, and the old gifting site chair was over there where the bones hung in the tree, and there was a little red dude over there, and he was down here, and I know 1,000,000,000% there is zero chance of any red light, first of all, or any light for that matter being where that light was, period. There's no way. And then as we walked, because behind him is a hill, like he's in the valley. Like when I say valley, it's for around here it's a valley, but it's just like you can't even go sledding on it. You know what I'm saying? But it's you can't. But it's down here, and there's the hill behind him, all the brush and thicket behind here, and then a miles of woods. So when he was here, miles of woods, hill. On the other side, way on the other side of that hill is the street and then houses. I knew there was nothing there. And I was 45 minutes. That was the time, Wojo, when you were getting stuff thrown at you and stuff, and there was breaks by you. And I was like, you okay, bro? Because you were getting too far from me, and I was hearing loud snaps. So they must have been like echo stereos. I mean, loud for you, because they were coming right from behind you, your back right shoulder. And I like this, and I'm like, bro, you okay? I thought dude just took you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I mean, usually the spot that we go to as we're walking out, you don't know how many times that we started, where we stand, because again, where we stand, then you kind of go up a hill, then it's down a hill. Okay.
yeah.
And there's been plenty of times where we walk towards the lights. I did it one time, and Richie did it one time, and Richie did it where the old gifted chair is, Susan, in that patch of woods, heading towards the junkyard, whatever. But he walked a ways, and kept an even keel, asking questions and what have you. Can you make your light brighter? Can you, what's your name? And things like that. But we're approaching the lights because I'm not afraid. I mean, I know what my faith is, Jesus Christ, because you know what? If I'm not meant to be, then I'm not afraid. And I walked towards these lights one time, ran down the hill. But yet, as you get down the hill, you got other obstructions in the way that I couldn't see the lights. And I was far away from Richie. And then as I came back up on the hill, I could see the lights moved in, slightly in different positions. And as we're walking up and over to the path that leads us out, you don't see any lights. But I kept telling Richie, I go, what? I go, watch. I go, when you're walking at night, let's say even with your flashlight, you got to look at the ground. You're kind of like doing this up and down. And that's what you see when you see these lights kind of like move back and forth. Like there's like some sort of like movement.
And you can hear them.
And you can hear them. And so what I'm saying is, where we're down low, where the path that leads us out to the hill that takes you to where all the lights are, now you see nothing. But then all of a sudden, here comes the lights. And I had Jessica one time. I go, Jess, just wait right here. She goes, why? I go, watch. You're going to see the lights. And sure as hell, there they are. The real bright one showed up. Because to me, that's the more curious and the more wants to communicate more and what have you. And again, I'd rather grab a bed and just place it right there and sleep the night, and I know like you would too and things like that, because, you were like, this is beautiful, but you went to go because you have a long travel home, and same with Richie. We'd be like, yeah. But I mean, again, the lights, they are moving, and I've seen them up in the trees more than one time. And things like that. But again, as for I don't try to differentiate the Bigfoots and the ETs. I'm just out there in the woods knowing what I know, the movements, the whoops, which is the forest people. And if the ETs are there, well, hey, how you doing? But I've just focused more on them. I don't like to, all right, are they here? Are they here? I'm just in the woods and I try to stay even keel. And because I try to keep things simple, because if I try to do more than that, then maybe, you could possibly be tricked. That is, your energies and things like that. So that's why I try to stay grounded.
Be tricked by what? What are we getting tricked by? I keep hearing this. What are we getting tricked by?
Anything. And I don't think there's any, I haven't, that's another thing. I haven't seen any
14 years. 14 years. I ain't been tricked by anything but my second wife. I don't understand. I'm confused. Like, what are we being tricked by? I keep hearing this, and I'm like, I'm not being. There's nothing. I'm not offended. I'm not offended by it. I'm being serious.
No, you're really asking. I mean, I think that. I mean, it could be faith. It could be a lot of things. I mean, I like to know myself. I mean, because, again, people ask us like our feelings out there and stuff like that. I mean, I never mind just being tricked or anything. I just never felt any negativity whatsoever.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. If you go out with the right intentions, you're going to get what you intend. That's it. It's just that simple. And everybody will say that, and then also say, you can get tricked. But my intentions aren't meant for that, negative or positive. You know what I mean? So, Susan, you ever heard of a group called the Wise Women? Just curious, Spirit asking.
No, I haven't.
No, definitely could elaborate on that, William. So, but that, I think I'm doing that. My question is more inquisitive. Like I want to know that, So am I dealing with something that has, like, in God's eyes, a day is 10,000 years? Am I, is it like year 20? I'm going to get hit by the trickery? Like, I don't understand, plus being in the land that I'm familiar with, that I've claimed as well. I've claimed this land as well. You know what I mean? And rightfully so. And I've respected it and treated it with honor and love and care. And, I just, that stuff I don't have a problem with, like, in an angry way. I mean, I have a problem with, I guess, understanding and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, to further that, Rich, I mean, it's like an open question, guys. I mean, that's what we're saying. I mean, like, has anybody had experience, which you don't hear that often, experience of being tricked and things like that,
in the paranormal world, sure.
Yes,
yeah, 100%.
Yes.
I've had them mess with me because they know I knew. You know what I mean? And then they would try to hurry up and cover up. It's sort of like someone jumping under a blanket. I'm like, nah, too late. Saw you, bro. Get out of here. You know what I mean? I'll start reading the same, Michael Archangel. Yeah, I know who you are. You don't belong here, dude. I've had all that stuff. Look, I just got whacked.
Now, William, is this a group that I need to be aware of, or to just do a little more? Should I be knowing who this group is? If you can respond.
Yeah, William, we're just curious as to what the group is, and is it something that Susan should be aware of, good, bad, or in between? If not allowed, I understand. Everything's allowed, bro. Just curious in your guys' thoughts on Bigfoot, ETs, and other cryptos being tied to the Nephilim. There's a great possibility. I mean, yeah, I get a lot of that. See, I get a lot of the angelic vibe. I shouldn't. We've had angelic messaging, and I believe there's something that works directly with God. That's where I'm at. So no, dude, first of all, Josh, ask anything you want, dude. Seriously. No, I'm not wearing pants. Gotcha. Moving on to the next question. But yeah, no, like all that, Rich, remember that respectful nature of you and Wojo is I think that's keeping me safe. And I just never had an issue whatsoever with feeling tricked at all. And it's no disrespect to you, brother. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying, after all these years, and I had to have done it wrong at least once. You know what I mean? Susan, message me later tomorrow. I'll tell you they are not good.
Okay, thank you.
Keep an eye on. William's a very wise dude, man.
Yeah.
They can read us so they know our intention. So this is what I want to do before we wrap up. I just want to, if you don't mind, Coach, I just want to touch on, Susan and I talked a little bit about it. I want to touch on, them knowing and say me knowing, right? When I verbally said like what I said, coming over the path, and then the other thing was Florida. That kind of blew my mind a little bit, right? I just get on the microphone and I'm yelling out through other people's microphones. I mean, I had good intention. I really felt like something would happen, but it was just still kind of like throwing it out there in the same sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then both report lights, right? Like I'm going, like that was so crazy. Now, yourself or anybody, is it a personal type connection? Like you said, they are all connected, right? And so, like when humans call ourselves mocked, right? We're not necessarily mocked. They're just connected more so. So they know who you are, right? In a sense, because Bob, Steven, and Susan talk about you, so to speak, right? So when I said something on the thing with Stacey Brown on the microphone, and then all of a sudden we start getting these crazy reactions, right? So how does that play out? How does that actually physically, not so physically work, right? Like how does someone get connected? How are you connected like that to where you can do that?
Well, it's kind of like this show. The three of us are sitting here talking, right?
Mm,
None of us are in the same place, but
right.
we're all connected
Mm,
in the same vibe or the same timeline, the same energy. We're
mm,
all connected, right? Um, and we're sharing the same mind space. We're kind of have the same, it's a theme. So we're all like, our intentions are in the same place.
right.
That's how basically it the simplest form, and that's the easiest way to explain it, is
Mm.
that's how it's happening.
So, all right. So do you think those are different ones in Florida as opposed to my backyard?
I believe so.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
believe so.
Yeah,
With the Native American energy, I believe so. I don't understand that all.
right,
Um, that's totally outside of my wheelhouse to even guess.
right.
But yeah, I think it does. And each one has its own entity within itself. So I think that each one is maybe has maybe different abilities or has a different
Mm,
mission, or I would, that's like, I'd love that question. So that would
mm,
be the next question. Like, let's find that answer out.
right.
Like, because I haven't experienced any others, so I don't know, and I wish I
Mm,
did.
right, right.
Other than the next time, I'll make sure I ask that question, or ask, um, like about the angels question and in
Yeah.
the lights.
Mm. Yeah, and that's like Denny is saying. I think they're connecting with Martin's beings too. So here's the other thing. This is what I find strange, and this is the
Thank
feeling
you.
that I got. This is the feeling I got. Sam, our producer Sam, it seemed to have kind of ramp up a little bit when we were connected. I don't, right, Sam? I mean, that's how I felt. And then we found the physical. They give off the physical too, by the way, right? So they connect us here, but then they drop something physical, so we tie it in, right?
Mhm,
As
mhm.
physical seekers, right?
Right.
So right, so she finds these red elm tree blossoms, right?
Maple.
I'm sorry, maple. What I keep calling them elm on her gifting stump for the first time ever, right? So she's telling, what are these things? So we're all looking it up or researching together, and then I think it was like maybe 1-2 investigations like right after that. It was pretty close. We've never found any of those on our gift and chair. Never, ever. And there was 2 of them on the gift and chair right here in Middleborough area, right? Right in the Bridgewater Triangle area, right? On the gift and chair. So we were like, wait, what are those? You know what I mean? And we kind of started putting things together. So now I'm watching our friend Martin has a crazy place up north, and all that is ramping up, like Denny's mentioning. And he says, I think they are connecting with Martin's also. Are they connecting through us to these different places? Right? I mean, isn't that quite a wide open, mind-blowing type concept? I truly feel that, and I have felt that silently for a long time, and I haven't really spoken about it. Again, there's that weird awkwardness, right? Even to my friends, I'm like, hey, by the way, do you think you know what I mean? Oh, this idiot again.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. Because
Yeah,
it's that weird question.
it is
But when
weird.
you're okay to being the weird person, like I'm sure I annoy people with all my questions. I'm like a 6-year-old. But why? But why? But
Mm,
why? Um, I love that,
mm.
and I think that it, is the human connection our, like that's our piece. We bring that cohesive intention. Um, all right, let's see. Remember that which is of the physical world stays in the physical, that from other higher density and realms is supernatural, transferred to the physical world form. Yeah. Thank
Well,
you,
it
William. Been so helpful tonight.
always is.
Yeah, right.
Our crowd's the best. I'm sorry, I put these guys up against any podcast in the world. I don't give a shit.
No, everybody's so amazing. I love this. It's like we're
Critical.
all like once again, it's like the Bigfoot. Like we're all connected.
Mm.
Whether we're in the same room or not, we're still getting the like I'm getting the goosebumpies. So
Oh,
like we're all connected.
I
How
got
does
both.
that happen? Beyond our little human brains can understand it. Some people can, but
Mm.
beyond my little brain. But it is happening.
Yeah, no, it's wild, man, and that's why people have to understand if you feel that connection to somebody, other things can feel connected to you. And that they're like, oh, you're crazy. No, no, what are you talking about? You've had someone in your life, somewhere in your life, somewhere. I don't care how close-minded, atheist, whatever you might be. There's somebody in your life where you have had a thought or it came out your mouth. I feel so connected to them. It's just natural when we get together. There's a reason for that. It's called frequency. Right? You have that energy where they just falls into each other. Like the meeting of Denny, right? Denny, you know, me and Denny in Wojo meeting was just like, yo, bro, come here. It wasn't even like, yes, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. It was like, yo, come here, dude. You get over here. Like, nice shirt. You know what I mean? It was just so.
Yeah, Richie, I just came all the way from here. I came
Hey,
all the way from over here just to come and see you guys. But something,
hey,
I had to come and see you.
hey, I had to come and see
Right,
you.
Denny? That's what I'm talking about.
I brought Anthony with me, yeah. You like his hush puppies? What's this? When I talk like this around a cookout, people just can't chew their hamburger. Their jaw drops. Well, then
Yeah,
give 'em a hot dog. It's way more entertaining.
because a lot of this is, I mean, also is like that. Is this when we talk about connection and energies and so on and so forth? To me, it's like that divine intervention. We were we were connected, all of us, William, Ron, you,
Yep.
Richie. We're here for a purpose, and
Yep.
how and why, you know, sometimes it just happens. Most of
Yep.
the time, it just happens, and then you kind of stop piecing it together after the fact.
Yep.
Denny, another one. Martin, another one. Sam, you know, um, and everybody from around the world. Benno, Rondalia, everybody. So there's that connection. Just that divine connection comes for a purpose. Like with Ella and Jack,
Mm.
and it just builds off from there, and it just keeps going and going and going. And not everything's about Bigfoot and ETs and all that.
Mm.
It's about right here
Yeah.
at your heart, and that's the connection that we constantly get, and that's so powerful. And today's world, growing up, we never had social media, we never had all this stuff. But you look at what's going on today's world. I'm not. No, I don't. We don't talk politics, but see, here's the thing: is like people try to find excuses in life to bring in this bad energy, but they can never find what's good, things like that. JT, God bless you, man. It's great to see you, and thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
no doubt, man.
and that's why
Agree. I
it is,
agree. Yep.
yeah. Um,
Jesus.
but well, thank you, Susan, for being on here, and I'll tell you, thank everybody for these wonderful questions and being here, connecting with all of us here. Love you guys, and so we'll wrap it up. And
We're gonna
Richie,
plan a
great
field
job.
trip,
Yeah,
Yes,
a big
yeah.
field trip. Everybody can be a part of it. Yeah, I that would be fun. I don't know where we're gonna go, but we're throwing it out there. Soup.
Which field trip you talking about? The beach field trip or the graveyard field trip?
All of them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you're gonna have to plan a day though because we're gonna do a double. So we're gonna go to the
The
new.
beach and the
No. That'll be a different day.
oh,
That's too much driving. I'm talking 3 minutes
yeah.
down the road from each other. We're going to one zone where the cemetery is for D Hoot.
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna go to our zone that same day. So
Okay.
it'll be a couple hours a piece. You know what I mean? And then we got to
Yep.
figure out. Then we got to figure out where the cemetery is. But I already can see the path.
oh,
So
I already know where it is.
yeah, I know.
Believe me, I don't forget.
Yeah,
So I'm like
the-
a human man.
dude, I want to go back to that area where that little pine grove was by the
That's further down.
to the left where the bed was, right with
Yeah.
the piled up
Well,
the piled up acorns
the piled up
that
acorns.
that led
Yes.
to that briar bed. That was so wild. I go, wait a minute, is this a trap? What the fuck is going on? It was awesome.
So you know what? While I think about it, Rich, I wonder if that is another crib.
Another who?
What?
Another crib. Another
Oh,
crib, Susan.
What do you mean? Like,
Meaning,
yo,
what I'm saying is because it's almost
host,
like
check out my crib. What do you mean by
hey,
that?
check it out.
What's he
Richie B
talking?
Wojo, boom.
What's up with your crib, girl?
But I mean, because everything kept like there was stacks of
Hey,
it,
William.
it was cool. So
Yeah.
and it's by the train tracks too. Another
yep.
high level of energy there. So
Yeah.
so everyone, thank you for being on here. Just remember, don't be lazy. Serve the Lord enthusiastically. Love each other, and help your neighbors out.
Let me ask
Rich,
Susan real quick. Susan, I noticed you changed some things. Cape Cod, happy medium, blah blah blah. Well, it used to be happy medium, I thought, right? Is there still a YouTube? Is there a different name?
No, it's Susan Ahern Paranormal.
So it's under Susan Ahern Paranormal.
Yeah, because I kind of was doing more than just Cape Cod Happy Medium.
Gotcha.
So that way then I can drop in the movies and the investigations and little stuff in there. So
Right. What do you got for
Gypsy
movies?
Wagon.
Are you working on any new movies? Any new projects?
I am. We're filming in 2 weeks, a part of one of the so I'm doing a series, a paranormal series. One of the shows we're filming in 2 weeks. So
Right. Is that the one we were in?
no,
Is that a different one?
it's a different one. Yeah.
Oh God.
You're one of the episodes. There's going to be 6 episodes. You're one of the episodes.
Yeah, but
And this is another episode. This is
so it's same series, different episode.
yes, but this one is like out of Las Vegas.
Right. All right. We're still on that. Gotcha.
I'm still on that. We're
Oh
waiting
my
for Daniel to get
God.
back from Japan.
Come on, Daniel.
What the hell,
he's
Daniel?
in Japan now. Wow,
Yeah,
he's
he's
everywhere.
He's had his today's his birthday.
Today's his birthday. Yeah, I wish him
Yes.
happy birthday.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Daniel.
Happy birthday, Daniel. We know you're out there watching secretly. You don't want to tell anybody you're associated
I
with,
know.
but we're on to you, bro. Happy birthday, Daniel Groom. Come on, you want to say goodnight to everybody? Happy birthday. The boss is here.
Woo-hoo.
Say goodnight to everybody, huh? Everybody follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I love you, crazy. All Banter with Richie B. We have a lot of things coming up. Charm and Fair Farm. We're going to have a great weekend there. I actually got a couple of things with help from donations and stuff. So that was nice. A little pop-up and some chair for me and Wojo to look professional and sexy, by the way, too. And you done? all kinds of things. And then we might be hanging out with Susan again, and hopefully in the near future, because the cameras are fun, by the way. I want everybody to keep climbing. I love you, baby Jack. I love you, Mama. I see you, Ella. Hi, Jesse. I see you too. Thank you for being here, Susan. Always a pleasure.
Love you guys.
Yeah, we love you too. Friend and family. Say good night. Hey, get out of here. Tell everybody keep climbing.
Keep climbing.
Now call Bigfoot. All right. Now tell everybody your favorite podcast. That's right. Get us out of here, Wojo, because that's what you still do.
All right. Keep that Red Bull away from that child. And yes, thank you all for being on here. Remember, we are still home of the boom.
Show me your muscles.
See you next time. Show your muscles.
Oh, he's got the boom. Good